is your Puerto Rican in the Philippines because I am a Puerto Rican living in the Philippines. Thank you for visiting my channel, and if you're new here, please be sure to like and subscribe so that way you could be in the know for whenever I drop a new video and we can keep pushing this information out to the masses. So let's get into it. Learning to have patience in the Philippines. Let's talk about it. If you're an expat or you're somebody that's coming from the West and you're planning to make the Philippines your new home-based town, there's a lot of things that you gotta learn. But the one thing that you do have to try to learn off the jump is that the Philippines is still a developing country, and it's nothing like the United States, UK, Canada, Australia, all those other first world countries. They're very laid back, they're very lax in everything they do. And if you're the type of person like I am, that comes from hustle, and you want everything done yesterday, that's not gonna happen here in the Philippines. Yes, the Philippines has a lot to offer. It is a great place to retire if you're planning to want to retire. It has wonderful sceneries. It has beautiful, warm, kind, welcoming people. But as far as the customer service, that seems to be lacking. Not lacking in the sense that you get bad service, just lacking in the sense that people do not move with purpose here. A lot of people move with no sense of purpose. One of the reasons is because the salary here. The Philippines is known not to be great when it comes to making a high wage or making a higher earning salary. This is why you got a lot of Filipinos getting their educations and they're getting jobs overseas to first world countries that do pay them better. We call those OFWs, overseas Philippine workers. My wife was one of those OFWs. She worked overseas because the job opportunities in the job market here is not the greatest. So if you're somebody that's thinking that you're gonna come down here and you're gonna be working or making a good salary, that's not going to happen, not here in the Philippines. This is why digital nomading and remote work, a lot of retirees, they come here because they want a slower pace of life. They want a less stressful life, a less stressful life. And if you're somebody that has that mindset or is very type A personality, you're gonna have a hard time adjusting here right off the bat. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I, for once, had to adjust immensely because I do come from, I am a type A person, and I do come from a get it right now, get it yesterday type of mentality. And to have to really wait on it is kind of a challenge for me. And me being ex-military, we have this, and for all my veterans out there, if you ever been in the military, especially in the Army, we know we all have this motto that we live by called hurry up and wait. Get there on our time, but wait on us to execute. And this is what that pretty much feels like. When they tell you, especially in a government agency or having to deal with immigration, they give you an appointment, you gotta be there on time, but once you get there on time, they're poking their asses doing God knows what, or updating their systems, or coming back from break and things like that. There's no sense of urgency. If it's not happening for them, they don't care. That's the sad reality of that. And for those who live here, you could back me up on that and verify that. And that's something that you have to prepare yourself mentally for. You got to remember, you're in their country, you're a guest in their country. This is not the United States. And the sooner you realize that, the more of an easier time you're gonna have navigating things around here. All right? So don't expect the Philippines to move according to US standards or any other first world country standards, because that's not gonna happen. This country has the potential of being great. It has great resources. The leaders in the past, the history that this country comes from, it overcame a lot of adversity, and it had a lot of leadership that made the Philippines flourish, and it's a good thing. But this generation, or for whatever reason, there seems to be a lack of urgency with a lot of customer service, especially in the customer service, and it's because what I said, the salary is not the greatest. especially in the customer service in the food service industry. Yeah, they get paid next to pennies. All right, and tipping is pretty much not allowed here in a lot of places. There are some places that will allow tipping, but for a lot of places, a lot of fast foods or a lot of restaurants, they don't allow tipping. For one of the reasons for what I found out is because it's a sign of, how can I put this? It's a sign of disrespect. You're pretty much saying, okay, you're coming in with your American or first world dollars, and because I work in the food industry, that I'm poor. So they pretty much feel like they have to be a charity case. And a lot of people here in the Philippines, they are very proud people, and they work hard for everything that they earn. Except the newer generation, except those who are trying to scam people. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the actual good, decent people, law-abiding citizens of the Philippines. They are very hardworking, and they earn every dollar that they get without lending a helping hand. They would not ask anybody for help, even if they're in dire straits. They will figure a way out. They will push through it, and they will persevere. And tipping, and when you tip, that's pretty much saying that, oh, I can't make it on my own, or you see me as less than because I'm working less to lower salary earning. Yeah, it's weird that it's like that, but it's the pride in some of these people, you know. And then back in the States, we have tipping culture. It's pretty much gone to a place that is ridiculous. Now it almost seems like it's mandatory with the entitlement of a lot of these fast food earners and people that work in the food industry. I get it. You guys don't get paid much, and I know you guys rely on tipping to make ends meet. You can't honestly expect to make a career out of waitressing or busting tables or working behind the counter and thinking you're going to be making $15, $20, $25 an hour. That's impossible. So yeah, this is not going to be a long video. I just wanted to put this out there because I don't want a lot of you that's planning to visit or make Philippines your home and then wind up disappointed because the service industry is not up to par for what you're used to or expect back home. All right, the Philippines, they march to their own beat of their drum, and like I said, it's not a hustle society like the first world country. It is very family oriented. So they're gonna work according to their job description, and they're gonna do their job as little as possible. They're gonna collect their check, and they're gonna go home to their families. That's how it is. So just remember that. There's very little sense of urgency, especially if you're working in the government sector here. Having to deal with immigration. I personally didn't have to deal with immigration to that aspect. My experience has been great so far. I've been getting my stuff in time. The visa process for the extension, it goes by smoothly. I haven't had no problems. Now that I got my ARCID card, this is where the problem starts to ensue. Especially if I try to open up a bank or I try to get a driver's license here. I've heard horror stories that the process could take a long time, and there's a lot of back and forth that you have to do, especially if you don't have the proper paperwork. But not only the paperwork factor, also the system issues. For some reason, conveniently, they always seem to have some type of system failure, or their systems are always offline. So a lot of stuff gets delayed, and they will have to tell you you got to come back another time. Our systems are down. After you waited this whole time, after you traveled out there and waited for hours for them to call your name, just to have you leave and come back another time and have to start that process all over again. It's very frustrating. Especially from the people that I've heard that had to have experienced that. So when you come down here mentally prepared. Come down here with no expectations. That's the biggest thing I could tell you right now. If you come down here with the expectations that things are gonna be like in the US, you're gonna be disappointed. So motto of life, never live your life, never go through life with any expectations. Take things as it is, accept things for what it is, and control the things that, and accept the things that you have complete control over. Worry about those things. Everything else outside of your control, don't sweat it. Yes, it's frustrating, but look at it as if you're somebody looking at a movie. The best way I can say it. Other people's gonna tell you the same thing, and it isn't if you yourself experience it that you won't believe it. So this is coming from my experience and from what other people told me and for what I've seen from the outside looking in. Again, I haven't had those type of experience yet, thank God, knock on wood, but that doesn't mean that it's not gonna happen. And when it does happen, I'm just gonna have to take it with a grain of salt, go through the motions, and just ride the waves best way I can. So that's something for you guys to anticipate and to expect when you come down here. There's no sense of urgency for anything out here. That's sad that it is, which is why the Philippines hasn't moved or developed as efficiently that it's supposed to because of the lack of urgency and the lack of consistency in a lot of job markets here. But that's the sad reality. But you know, again, if you're the type of person, you're out here, you want a slower pace of life, this is perfect. Anywhere in Southeast Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, and other places, slower pace of life, and you'll have a great time. I'm having a wonderful time as a retiree, and having to transform my thinking and transform my mindset. I'm starting to get adjusted to this newer, slower pace of lifestyle. But that's just me. That's something that I've told myself that that's why I'm gonna prepare myself. That's why I'm gonna put myself in a position when I'm out here. So guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you got something out of it, and if you did, please drop a comment in the comment box below. And if you have anything else that you would like for me to discuss, put it down in the comment below. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, anything that I could do better, please let me know, again, in the comment box below. And for you guys coming out here, I hope that the Philippines, it meets your standards. I hope that it's everything that you wanted out of it, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck, best of abundance out of life, and flourish, and everything that you can get from living here. Take care wherever you're at around the world, and God bless.